Hello friends, how are you all? Welcome back. In this video we will be continuing with exercise 5D, the first question, fifth part. So what is the equation here? 3x square plus 2x minus 1 equal to 0. We have to solve this using the formula. So let us start with this. So comparing above equation with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, we get, so we'll compare these two equations, we'll get a equal to 3, b equal to 2, c equal to minus 1. Now, let us use the formula. X is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a, is it not? So let us substitute the values of a, b and c. Minus 2 plus or minus root of 4 into 3 into minus 1 upon 2 into 3. Now let's see what happens inside the root. Okay, so minus and minus, you will get plus. 4 3s are 12. This will be 6 in the denominator. So let us see now. Root of 16 divided by 6. So what is the square root of 16? Yes, it's 4. So we'll get minus 2 plus or minus 4 upon 6. So that means x will be minus 2 plus 4 upon 6, or x is equal to minus 2 minus 4 upon 6. So there will be two values. So x will be 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 divided by 6 is 1 by 3, or x is minus 6. Minus 6 divided by 6 is minus 1. So these are the two values of x. Friends, the first question, sixth part, is again this equation. We have to solve it using the formula. So let us compare above equation with, what is the equation we have to compare it with? Ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So what are the values of a, b and c? A is 2, b is 7, c is 5. What is the formula we have to use? X is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2e. So I'll get, let us substitute the values. 7 square minus 4 into 2 into 5. Okay. So 2 into 2. Now we will get 49 minus 5 4s are 20, 22s are 40. Okay, 4. So what happens here? Minus 7 plus or minus 49 minus 40, which is root 9 divided by 4. What is the square root of 9? Yes, it is 3. So minus 7 plus or minus 3 upon 4. Therefore, there are two values of x, minus 7 plus 3 upon 4, or it is minus 7 minus 3 upon 4. Therefore, x is minus 4 upon 4, which is minus 1, or x is minus 10 upon 4, which is minus 5 by 2. So these are the two values of x. Hence, the first question 7 part is like this. Again an equation. Now, when you compare it with ax square plus bx plus c, are they both of the same type? Well, they are, but you can see that this is not arranged in a proper way, is it not? There are few terms on LHS, there are few terms on RHS, then there are unequal denominators. So first let us bring it to the standard form, and then we will compare the two equations. Okay, so what should we do? From where should we start? So let us start with the right hand side. We'll start with taking the LCM. Okay, so I will get minus x square minus 2. Is it not? So what does this imply? I will get 2x upon 3 equal to, I'll just write it in a better way. Now what do? We have to cross multiply. So we'll get 12x equal to when minus 3x square minus 6. So this is better, is it not, than this equation. Now again, let us bring all the terms to one side. So I'll bring all the terms to the left hand side. So I will get 3x square plus 12x plus 6 is equal to 0. Is it not? So when I bring all the terms to the left hand side, this is what I get. But we are not yet done, because I can see that there is 3 common in all the 3 terms. Is it not? So let us take out the 3 common. We'll get x square plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So what happens? Obviously 3 cannot be 0. So x square plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. This is the quadratic equation on which we have to apply the formula. So now we say comparing above equation with ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. What are the values of a, b and c? These are the values of a, b and c. What is the next step? The next step is writing the formula. This is the formula. So next we start substituting the values. So these are the values: minus upon 2, right? So that gives us, let us see this root term. 4 2s are 8, this is 16, so 16 minus 8 you will get as 8 divided by 2. Okay, so what does this imply? Now obviously square root of 8, there is no whole number which will give me square as 8, but I can write it as 4 into 2, is it not? Divided by 2. Okay, and this root of 4 I can write it as, can you guess? 2. So I will write this as 2 root 2. So 4 comes outside because root of 4 is 2, and this 2 remains as it is over here. Okay, divided by 2. Then what can I do more? I can take 2 common from the numerator and cancel with the denominator. So I will be left with this. When the 2 goes off, I will get minus 2 plus or minus. This 2 also goes. I will be left with root 2. What about the denominator? That 2 also gets cancelled. So this is what I am left with. So when I remove the plus and minus and write it separately, I will get x is minus 2 plus root 2, or x is minus 2 minus root 2. These are the 2 values of x for the given quadratic equation. This is the 8th part of the first question. So this is the quadratic equation, but like the previous sum, what is wrong with this equation? It is not in the standard form of the quadratic equation. So we have to take LCM, we have to bring all the terms to one side. So let us start by taking LCM. Okay, so we'll get x square, 3 5s are, so 5 5s are 25. This is how we do it. Then what I can do, I can cross multiply the denominator terms. So this 3 comes here, I will get 3x square, 25 3s are 75. This 15 comes, I'll get 30x. Okay, now what do? I bring all the terms to one side. So better to bring this to the left hand side. I will get 3x square minus 30x plus 75 equal to 0. Now don't stop here. We can take the 3 common. So let us do that. I'll get 10x here, and this is 3 2s are, well, 3 2s are 6. I'll get 25 again. Is equal to 0. Right? So my quadratic equation is going to be this. This I'm going to compare. So comparing this equation with what equation? This one, ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. What will I get? I will get the values of a as 1, b as minus 10 and C as 25. Now, what is the next step? Write down the formula. So, this is the formula. Now, substitute the values. We'll get 10 plus or minus 10 the whole square minus 4, 1 into 25. Is it not? 2. What is A? A is 1 only. So, this is what I'll get. So, let us simplify yet again. What is this 10 square? 100. This is also 100 divided by 2. So, what happens to the square root? 100 minus 100? 0. So, this whole term goes off. So, I will get 10 upon 2. So, therefore, which is nothing but 5. So, x is equal to 5 is the only solution of the quadratic equation. Okay, sometimes it does happen that you get only one unique value for the quadratic equation. Ninth part of the first question is this particular quadratic equation. So what do we do? Is it in the standard form? No, because there are some terms on the right hand side and some on the left hand side. So let us bring everything to one side. So when we do that, we will get this. This is in the standard form. So comparing this equation with ax square plus bx plus c, what do we get? A is equal to 1, b is minus 2 root 2 and c is minus 6. So if you had left this 2 root 2x on left hand side only and then you would have solved the sum, your value of b would have been plus 2 root 2. You would not have got this value of b. So that's why it's very important to bring all the terms to one side. So let us now use the formula. Okay, this is the formula. Now what are the values? Let's substitute. You'll get 2 root 2. This is also, actually it's minus 2 root 2 the whole square minus 4 into, what is a? 1. What is c? Minus 6 upon 2. Now let's solve this root terms. This is 2 square is 4 and 4 into, now what is root 2 whole square is 2. So that means it's 4 into 2, right? So we'll get 4 into 2 is 8. Okay. Now minus and minus is plus. 4 6 are 24. Okay, divided by 2. So I will get root of 32. Now as you know, there is no real, no whole number whose square will give you 32. So what do I do? Let us see. 32 I can write as 16 2. And root of 16 I know is 4, is it not? So that way I can reduce my root. I will write it as 2 root 2 plus or minus. Okay, this is what we get. Now what do we do? What is square root of 16? 4. What is square root of 2? It will be root 2 only upon 2. So what happens now? I can take 2 common, is it not? So I will get root 2 plus or minus this 4. If I take 2 common out, I will be left with 2 root 2. Denominator will be 1 because this 2 gets cancelled. So my value of x is root 2 plus 2 root 2, or x is root 2 minus 2 root 2. These are the two values of x. So now what we can do, since these two terms are root 2 terms, let us see if we can simplify. You will get 3 root 2, or this is root 2 minus 2 root 2 will be how much? Minus root 2. It's like 1 minus 2, is it not? So I'll get minus 1. So this will be 3 root 2, this will be minus root 2. So these are the final values of x. So don't leave the values of x here only. You can just check if you can simplify. Okay, so here you could have simplified. So this is the final value of x.